We start this bulletin by getting you the latest from Pakistan, because snakes in Pakistan's backyard are biting them back, and unable to control their own mess, the Pakistani army is trying to blame India. MEA has hit back, rejecting Pakistan's claims with full contempt. What is the story about? We're going to break it down, all the details one by one. So on Saturday, a suicide car bomber struck a military convoy in Mir Ali in North Waziristan. This attack led to the death of at least 13 to 16 Pakistani soldiers, and this attack also left more than 24 people injured. They include civilians and children. The blast took place even as a curfew was in place to facilitate Pakistan Army's movements. As per reports in the Pakistani media, the attack was carried out using a vehicle laden with nearly 800 kilograms of explosives. The Hafiz Gul Bahadur faction, which is a notorious offshoot of the Tehreek-e-Taliban in Pakistan, is believed to be behind this terror attack in North Waziristan. Remember, this is the same group that operated for years under the knowing eye of Pakistan's deep state. Now, what does Pakistan do after this kind of an attack in North Waziristan? Its own pet monsters are attacking its army. So Pakistan does what it knows best. It resorts to fakery. It resorts to blaming India. The ISPR, which is the Pakistan military's media arm, issued a statement naming an obscure entity called Fitna al-Khwarij, and it linked it to India and Indian agencies. Zero evidence, zero facts, zero credibility. In response, the MEA has issued a very terse message to Pakistan. It has blasted Pakistan for coming out with these ludicrous allegations, calling them baseless, and also saying that they deserve nothing but contempt. We're going to take you through what the statement of the MEA has been. This is classic deflection by Pakistan, and viewers, this is the statement of the MEA. Let me take you through what the official statement reads. It says, and I quote, "We have seen an official statement by Pakistan Army seeking to blame India for the attack in Waziristan on the 28th of June. We reject this statement with the contempt it deserves." It's a short statement, but it has loaded messaging. Now, this is classic deflection by the Pakistani army. When the terror groups that they once nurtured have turned on them, they point fingers because they do not know what to do. So failed Marshal Munir's army is in complete shambles, and the only way out for Pakistan seems to be, resorting to this familiar cocktail of lies and deceit. Srinjoy Chaudhary, my consulting editor and our colleague, is joining us on the broadcast. Srinjoy, the same old playbook of Pakistani military resorting to lies. India has rejected these claims firmly, but put this into context. An attack, a suicide bombing attack in North Waziristan, which is in the Afpak border. Multiple attacks over the last few days. In the last 1 year, 200 such attacks have taken place. So does Pakistan's bit to blame hold any credence when there are facts about how the TTP and groups linked to the TTP and also the Baloch are attacking the Pak army in this very region?
First of all, Hillary Clinton's statement apart, and Hillary Clinton's statement is still appropriate today. It's important to note that the Tehreek-e-Taliban has strong links with the Taliban, which was originally very close to Pakistan and yet is no longer that close to Pakistan. So the Tehreek-e-Taliban has sanctuaries in Afghanistan, a former ally of Pakistan. That's the first thing. Now, the Taliban was liberally supplied with weapons by the Pakistanis. So the Taliban may have transferred all their weapons, some of their weapons, to the Tehreek-e-Taliban, which is a very powerful organization. And therefore, the Tehreek-e-Taliban, the Baloch Liberation Army, all these organizations are very effective because they believe that the Punjabi elements in Pakistan are actually against the other parts of Pakistan, which namely the Northwest Frontier Province, Balochistan and Sindh. Now, naturally, if you treat people badly, they decide that enough is enough. The Balochis believe that they've had enough of the West Punjabis in Pakistan. the Sindhis
Right.
likewise, and so do all the Pathans.
Right.
They believe that they have been trod upon for decades. Enough is enough. Now we want a country of our own.
Yes.
Which is why you have a Baloch Liberation Army, why you have a Tehreek-e-Taliban.
Right.
There is absolutely no point blaming India for it.
Absolutely.
Because this is not even anywhere near India.
Right.
It is very
and where
close.
is the evidence? You can resort to all sorts of lies because that is what you're known for. Your ISPR is notorious for putting out fake news, fakery, fake videos. But just let's put this into context. Like you've been telling us about the internal mess in Pakistan, battered by the BLA, hammered by the TTP, attacked every now and then in this particular region, the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, North Waziristan. It's like Pakistani army has become sitting ducks for those the Pakistani establishment nurtured for years and years. So what do you think is next for Pakistan, amid reports of this growing internal rebellion against its own army?
Well, first of all, let's not forget that these are places where elections rarely take place.
Yes.
There is no sense of democracy in Balochistan and in the Northwest Frontier province, in all of Pakistan actually.
Right.
These are actually rigged elections. Now the army decides we are going to have such and such party in power because they are going to be the best people for us.
Right.
So that's how an election is held.
Right.
Add to the fact that the people of Northwest Frontier Province, Balochistan and Sindh are actually
Shrinja, please hold your thought and stay with us because we have Major General A.K. Sivach who's joining us on this broadcast this morning. Good morning, Major General Sivach. Pakistan Army back to doing what it does best, resorts to lies and fakery when it's unable to handle the snakes in their own backyard. There was an attack in North Waziristan, a suicide bombing attack for which the ISPR has tried to blame India. ME has rejected it. Are you surprised by Pakistan's antics?
Not at all. You see, Pakistan is in turmoil, especially in North Waziristan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, as well as in Balochistan. Whenever any action is taken either by BLA in Balochistan, which is fighting a freedom struggle, or TTP in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and North Waziristan, the first thing what they do is they blame India.
Right.
No, India has nothing to do with it. Now, if you see the internal situation in Pakistan, it is going from bad to worse every day. Everyone knows what's happening in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. It is TTP, which is having a basis possibly even in Afghanistan. They are coming and hitting Pakistan. And every day they are losing almost 5 to 10 soldiers, whether it is in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or in Balochistan.
Right.
Same way, the BLA is fighting a freedom struggle in Balochistan and hitting them hard.
Absolutely.
See, the point is, problem of Pakistan is, Pakistan has been always supporting terrorism.
Yes.
Now, who's created this TTP?
Yes.
This TTP has not been created from, outside this world. It has been created by Pakistan.
Yes.
When Hillary Clinton came in 2013
Absolutely.
as a Secretary of State in Pakistan, she warned Pakistan that if you have snakes in your courtyard and you think they will only bite your neighbor.
And that's exactly what's playing out so many years later, Major General Sivach, and I appreciate you for joining us and putting this into context for our viewers. We also have retired Major General Dr. Rajan Kochar, I beg your pardon, joining us. Major General Kochar, Pakistan, there is a suicide bombing attack in North Waziristan. There is a full imprint of offshoots of the TTP, but what does the Pak army do? It tries to blame India. India has rejected Pakistan's claim with full contempt. But are you surprised by this playbook of Pakistan?
Thank you for inviting me for this discussion, because this is a very, very important aspect. You see, Pakistan, what has happened in Pakistan is that these terrorist organizations which are flourishing there have been their own creation. And now what has happened is that they are not able to contain them. we have seen, if you see the trend in the last 1 year or so, there have been a large number of attacks on the Pakistan army. There have been a lot of casualties which the Pakistan army is suffering on a daily basis, and they are not able to control the situation. And especially, this has escalated after Pakistan spoiled its relations with Afghanistan. You must understand, these are incidents which are correlated because first you send back more than 1 lakh of Afghanistan refugees back to Afghanistan. Then you have the issue of the Durand line. And these ethnicities are on both sides of the border. You have the same kind of the people staying.
Right.
And when you eliminate your relations with your neighbor like Afghanistan, you will find these incidents will gain a momentum.
Yes.
The second important aspect is that look at the development you have been carrying out in these areas vis-a-vis Punjab and Sindh. So when there is a discrimination in your own governance, in your own policies, you will find a kind of unrest among these people.
So retired Major General, Rajan Kochar, with no development, with, people in these areas having enough of the excesses of the Pak army, they are now revolting. And this is what Pakistan is paying the price for what it has done for years. It is a terror sanctuary, a global terror sanctuary, and now snakes in their own backyard. They are biting them. Thank you so much, Major General Kochar, for joining us. Srinjoy Chaudhary continues to stay with us. Srinjoy, you heard the analysis and the viewpoint of the experts, and this is exactly what is playing out in Pakistan. So what next? Many would ask, what next for Pakistan?
Well, things can only get worse because, first of all, the economy is in a shambles.
Yeah.
Now, once the economy is in a shambles, there is very little money to use for developmental purposes. Then whatever little money is left goes to the military.
Right.
After what the military has used what it has, the little bits that are left actually go to the state of Punjab, the province of Punjab. Balochistan, the people of Balochistan believe that they are just being exploited. All the minerals there are just being taken out, and they are being left in the lurch. The Pathans in the northwest frontier province believe exactly the same.
Right.
So do the Sindhis. So the whole point is that this is an imploding kind of country.
Yes.
We don't know what will happen in the next decade. But clearly, if this economic paralysis continues, then an implosion is inevitable in a couple of decades.
Yes.
Because all you can do is go to the World Bank, go to the IMF
and go with a begging bowl, and then, try to strike deals with world powers, and then get called out for being the biggest exporter of global terror. Thank you so much, Srinjoy Chaudhary, for putting that story into context. With that, viewers, it's time for us to take a short commercial break.